Thanks, Rennie, for the introduction. Welcome, everyone. Again, my name is Thomas, and thanks for joining our research briefing on trends disrupting the luxury space. In this presentation, we'll cover the rise of luxury online shopping and how much luxury houses can benefit from moving online, how they can upgrade their retail experience using new technologies, and what are some of the key factors to succeed in their digital transformation. We'll also touch upon some of the challenges posed by online retail, including counterfeiting. But for now, let's dig into the rise of online shopping. While e-commerce can be a powerful tool for brands, luxury houses have been late at accepting it. Not that long ago, major luxury brands, including Prada, were very dismissive towards e-commerce. Luxury companies kept on betting that only physical retail was well suited to sell luxury goods. And that's despite the fact that many other verticals had already been disrupted by the likes of Expedia for travel or Amazon for almost anything else. Put simply, they feared that online shopping would cheapen their brand. This has changed over the past couple of years. Luxury houses executives are talking more and more about online or e-commerce during earnings calls. But more importantly, they are now presenting it as a growth engine rather than as an inadequate distribution channel. So what has changed? Well, online sales of luxury items have soared over the past years, growing 24% between 2016 and 2017. Luxury items sold online already represent 9% of all luxury sales, a share that could rise to 25% by 2025, according to Bain. Online has become a distribution channel that companies may not have the luxury to ignore anymore. So far, the big winners have been luxury e-commerce startups. And that's because luxury houses neglected the online channel for so long. Altogether, Farfetch, Moda Operandi, and Lyst have raised over $1 billion and already generate hundreds of millions of dollars in combined net sales. Also not pictured here is Yoox Net-a-Porter, that we'll see on the next slide. The company, which is based in Milan, started as two separate startups, Yoox and Net-a-Porter, and generated over $2 billion in net sales in 2016. Sensing the opportunity, luxury incumbents have started investing in these platforms. For instance, Richemont had made a first investment in UK-based startup Net-a-Porter in 2002. It merged it with Yoox some years later, and finally acquired the company for a whopping $3.4 billion, corresponding to the 51% stake Richemont did not already own. This is the first multi-billion acquisition in the luxury e-commerce space, but may not be the last. Indeed, luxury incumbents are finally playing catch-up. LVMH launched its long-expected first multi-brand online shop in June 2017. That took long, given LVMH CEO personally invested in a luxury online shop back in 2015, and LVMH made its first investment in Moda Operandi in December 13. Same goes for Prada, that launched its online shop at the end of 2017. This came 2 years after its marketing director rejected the idea of selling Prada's goods online. Now that luxury incumbents are taking online luxury seriously, we will certainly see more and more investments being made in online features and capabilities. But how to recreate a top-notch experience online? Luxury houses' biggest fear is that the online experience may be perceived as poor in comparison to in-store shopping. But new technologies can help create a new type of online shopping experience. For instance, luxury houses could use virtual reality to recreate existing stores, this time online. This is made possible by startups like Capacity. The startup makes it possible for online shoppers using a VR headset to simply enter a virtual shop, walk around, pick up some items, and order them. Search functions can also be significantly improved using virtual assistants such as Mode AI. We'll see more and more of these features being integrated into luxury online shops, as luxury houses invest to create exclusive online experience. A top-notch online experience also requires an over-the-top delivery service. For fashion emergencies, luxury brands like Gucci and Burberry have partnered with startup Farfetch to offer a 90-minute delivery service. At the moment, this service is only available in a number of select cities. These deliveries are performed by humans for now, but drones may provide a faster alternative in the future. Last but not least, the online channel will help offering personalized items. While luxury companies have historically offered bespoke services, online is making it easier to offer this option for ready-to-wear collections as well. A number of startups are already offering certain personalization features. This includes smartphone-based scan for custom-fit items, customized designs, as well as personality quiz to determine preferences. The emergence of new manufacturing technologies such as 3D printing and robotics will certainly help increase the number of customizable parameters. But that could be a risky bet for luxury brands, promoting craftsmanship as their luxury component. As the online channel grows, luxury houses become even more at risk of fraud and counterfeiting. Counterfeit goods amounted for almost $500 billion according to the OECD, partially driven by the rise in e-commerce. Categories related to luxury items are among the most affected ones: jewelry with almost $40 billion, clothing for $28 billion, and leather products for $9 billion. Technology has made it easier to sell fake goods, but as fraud gets more sophisticated, some startups are working to improve authentication technology to better spot fakes. Over the past years, a number of startups have developed solutions to make it easier, cheaper, and faster to authenticate goods. The aim is also to get ahead of fraudsters and develop the most secured solutions possible. This includes opening detection for wine and spirits bottles by Solinco, artificial DNA to be incorporated into goods by Olnica, as well as image recognition for luxury bags by Entropy. Among the new technologies, artificial intelligence appears to be a major ally. Luxury houses aspiring to protect their brand from counterfeiting, which is basically all of them, have a number of AI-powered solutions available. These authentication technologies can be used either by luxury companies to spot fakes before they get sold, as well as by consumers to make sure they're not buying fakes. Going forward, we can expect more and more luxury brands to use a combination of solutions to make sure consumers get the real stuff. Luxury companies have historically used in-store experience to distinguish themselves from mainstream brands. While online is fast-growing and draws a lot of attention, retail remains luxury brands' main distribution channel. Retail and wholesale generated 10 times more revenue than online shopping, according to Bain. To keep on attracting customers in their stores, luxury incumbents are increasingly looking at new technologies. And AR/VR is here to help. We've already discussed how augmented reality or virtual reality can help provide a better online experience, but it is in store that it may be the most disruptive. More particularly, smart mirrors are becoming increasingly popular. For instance, Memomi Labs has developed a fitting mirror that allows users to virtually try on any item and change the color or size, among other parameters. In the beauty space, the AR/VR technology has already taken off, with L'Oreal acquiring Modiface, an AR beauty startup that can be used to virtually try on some makeup. Luxury retailer Farfetch is going even further. It has unveiled its Store of the Future concept in April 2017 and has recently partnered with Chanel to implement its in-store technology. Farfetch has developed an operating system to include new technologies in luxury stores and gather data about customers. Available applications include a universal login used by customers to check in when they enter the store, and allowing sales associates to access information about them. This basically means that a loyal customer that usually shops in Paris will be provided with a similarly personalized service in a store in New York. Adding smart mirrors and connected clothing rails will certainly help provide a better retail experience. but the quality of data gathered in-store and how to use it will probably be even more valuable for luxury houses. Based on what we've just discussed, we've identified a number of factors that may help luxury houses successfully transform into digitally savvy companies. But first, let's have a look at Burberry. The British luxury brand was among the first to start its digital transformation and move online. But looking at share price performance over the past 5 years gives a rather mitigated view. Burberry hasn't performed as well as some of its main competitors, including LVMH and Kering. While e-commerce is reportedly performing well, Burberry hasn't grown as fast as other luxury brands. Achieving a successful transformation is challenging, and technological prowess needs to translate into sales. We've highlighted a few factors that luxury houses should consider for a successful transformation. The first one is selling on multi-brand online stores. LVMH recently launched its own multi-brand online platform, giving the company better control over the customer experience and brand storytelling. However, single-brand companies should not shy away from selling on multi-brand online shops, in addition to selling on their own websites. Some of the key benefits of this strategy include higher traffic, of course, which could translate into higher sales. But partnering with multi-brand online stores could also provide access to more customers' data that wouldn't be available to them otherwise. The second factor is adopting discrete in-store technology. And I am insisting on the discrete part, as stores need to be designed with these new technologies in mind, rather than simply adding them to tick the box. And this is to better gather in-store data while preserving an immaculate in-store experience. Last but not least, merging online and offline channels. When moving online, luxury houses should not aim at recreating the in-store experience, but rather to complement it with a distinct but equally exclusive experience online. For instance, online shopping is mostly about convenience, hence online shops should be designed to make it easy for customers to search and navigate. Previously gathered data, either in-store or online, can help with pushing up certain products rather than others. Another way to merge online and offline could be to create virtual versions of existing stores. The coming years will certainly see luxury houses accelerating their online push and adoption of in-store tech. The winners are likely to be the ones who manage to create a brand new type of luxury experience while preserving the perceived value of their brand. This concludes our webinar. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll open it up for some questions. So first question we have: which trends are meaningfully different in China versus the US? Well, I would first say that China definitely differs from the US on the digital channel. But first, let me start with a few data points. China is probably one of the largest markets, the first or second biggest market for luxury items for many luxury brands, and has been a key driver for sales growth over the past year. But to better answer the question, luxury brands have been using digital channels in China like WeChat and Tmall being operated by Alibaba, whereas in the US they've been much more cautious to not necessarily partnered with e-commerce platforms. And when I say that, I'm thinking of LVMH CEO that basically rejected any form of partnership with Amazon, but still sells Louis Vuitton items and Tiger watches on Tmall. A second question we have is, what will be the impact on malls and real estate owners if luxury brands start closing stores? Well, to kind of simply answer the question, I'd say that we don't see any retail apocalypse in luxury retail. And when I say that, I'm also thinking of Bloomberg's recent article about the fact that luxury malls are doing quite well. As I mentioned in this flash briefing, luxury brands are not necessarily looking to replace in-store sales with online, but rather to create a complementary experience online to what they already have in store. And as an example of what I say, in the latest earnings calls, Tapestry's CEO and CFO mentioned a number of net store openings, and also mentioned they were planning to open 20 to 25 new locations for Kate Spade, for instance. Even Farfetch, the luxury retailer, has a couple of boutiques and is betting on retail with its Store of the Future concept. What we may certainly see is a deceleration in store opening by large luxury companies, and especially in China, where they've opened a lot of shops recently and may slow down a bit. I think they may just rationalize their retail footprint, looking at what locations are working, what are not. And definitely looking also at travel retail, actually. Richemont, for instance, recently bought a stake in duty-free chain Dufry, while LVMH already owns another duty-free chain, which is DFS. So last question for today is, which technologies do you think luxury brands are overhyping, and which do you think are underrated? Well, I think augmented reality and virtual reality may be fun and kind of useful, especially for in-store tech, but the most important technology will probably be based on how data is gathered both in-store and online, and then made kind of easy to use by sales assistant. There's already like a number of startups like NewStore that have developed solutions to help retailers better serve their customers in store. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see more and more of this in the future. So there are many more questions, but I need to stop here. Please feel free to send any follow-up questions either on Twitter or via email. Thanks again for listening.